All right, so next up on our visual IPP plans, individual performance plans, we got Blaise. His is gonna be a little different because he's been with me for a while. Um, I got film from back in before, and so just a little bit about Blaise. We used to say, hey man, from 3-point line to the rim, you're really good. From baseline to 3-point line, you gotta catch up, need work. And I think the reason like this summer he's able to score so much easier is because he's become a much better playmaker. Like he can actually affect the game without scoring now. But this is kind of the journey before we get into some where he's come from. Uh, so here we go. We're playing PSAT. Okay, so right now we're just struggling getting the ball up court. Almost travel, just not quite comfortable yet. Keep in mind, this is almost expected. Uh, we took Court out the game at this point, so now he got to run point guard, and he dribbles. Now notice there's a ton of space to the left, but he wants to go to his right hand. And again, since he hadn't played point guard very much in his career at that point, that's why that's all this stuff is a bit of a struggle. So, and that's why, like a lot of players, young players, I tell y'all, just enjoy the journey. All right, it's not gonna be easy. Like right here, he goes. There's nothing and nobody stopping him. If this was today, he'd keep driving, make this guy guard him, throw it over the top to Caleb, but he stops because the ball's in his left hand. All right, so this is a little later in the season. All right, now we're on a fast break. We get the ball, and before we're having trouble just handling. Now we're getting to the point where we can start teaching to make decisions. So he makes a quick decision to get off the ball too early, so we get a turnover. All right, and this is how he looks when he was just using his talent. Get downhill. But to teach interior passes, you got to start getting into the teeth of the defense. But this is him playing. If he has space and he's downhill, can create a lot of fouls, can get to the hole. But where we want his game to go is not just to use your talent. And this is what all players should be thinking. Where can I grow from here? How many ways can I hurt people? So that's what he's good at. Now let's look at today at how he's playmaking. All right, so today there's just obviously he's more comfortable. Get the ball, can make a couple moves, slow down, throw a left-handed bounce pass on the move. This is all just because of reps. All right, here's another one. Through contact, still able to make a pass and make the game easier for teammates. Even a play like this that is looking simple used to be full speed. Now there's a slowdown, the correct bounce pass, then an easy bucket. All right. I like this possession because it's not full speed. It's controlled, and you go at a speed where you can kind of read. So notice that these two guys, both of their bodies are facing this way. In the past, we would just get off the ball and throw it to who's ahead, and they'd run up and bother him. You throw it against them, now they got to turn their body in momentum, which creates a much easier shot down the lane. I specifically like this one because this is against the zone. We fake, we hit gaps, and now we can still find and throw the pass from different angles. And I really like the last few that we'll show is because they're all situational. So like right here, there's no way you could throw a straight or a bounce pass. So this has to be an over the top soft pass just so we could throw it in. So knowing which pass to throw when matters. Can't get it there, drop off with a little shovel pass. Then court mapping is important. All right. So we notice that the little guy that was guarding DJ, they willingly switch. A lot of players don't recognize this, but as soon as he does, we throw it low, mismatch, get an easy and one. But the key to all of this is making sure you can court map, you can throw the correct pass when you could play with pace. And I did them in reverse order. First thing you have to do is play with pace. And the last thing I want to speak on is just the growth of IQ. It really helps playing in the same system, things like that. So right now he's going to post up, and this is what he used to do: not touch anybody, throw his hands up so anybody could run through the pass. And of course, you never end up with the ball when that happens. Versus now, he knows where to pick his spots. He knows where to headhunt. So this is Hendricks, small player, being guarded by a small person. So what he does is screen him, and as soon as they decide I'm not gonna hustle and switch, well, you about to get into this post. So now you notice there's contact with the guy. He's a much easier target because he turns his body. And then of course when they see that, there's an immediate double team. And the key is if you're a player that's getting double teamed, you got to be able to play make out of double teams. All right, well, that ensures that there's going to get us a wide open shot with nobody within 10 feet of him. So again, I want to just reiterate how important it is to know offense because then you know where to pick your spot. So obviously we're running open. DJ's cutting back here. So normally you would think Blaise would cut, but since he sees that DJ is getting guarded by a smaller guy,
Blaise doesn't cut, he screens. All right, so as soon as the ball, he screens this guy. And the moment they say switch, now it's like, oh, okay. So when this ball comes back around, watch Blaise. He just stops. I never told him to do this. That's just what you know. So now I need to make contact. I need to get the ball in the post. He's too small. So now I'm going to the line. All right. And those are the little things that make the game so much easier and allow you to be more efficient. All right, and another thing about IQ, and this is very hard to do, but it looks simple, and a lot of people don't know to give credit to it, is this. This is overtime against the defenders. Look how relaxed Blaise is. The play is for him. So he's just kind of standing there like he's not going to go anywhere, which means his guy's relaxed. A lot of players at this age, when they know they're getting the ball, they are not standing as relaxed. So as soon as the play starts, he stays relaxed and then out of nowhere, as soon as Cam sets his screen, so a couple really good smart things happen. Will cut, which pulled this defender. DJ backed back because he knew he needed space to throw this pass, and Cam sets a great screen. Blaise gets held, but his guy's not ready to get screened, so he sprints to the spot. Nobody's in time to close out, so hit a game winner. All right, so now we talked about his growth. Let's talk about the places you do got to get better at. So, like, as soon as there's a rebound or whatever, we got to get our head up the court. Right now, we got to feel that Will is up the court, Blaise. So you got to, like, one dribble, you should be throwing. But you dribble again, you fumble, and now that guy's in front. So now we got to make a play. All right. If we could see that way sooner, we could throw that over everybody's head, and Will could get a dunk. All right, and this one, this is good. Still in that relaxed state, like you're not getting the ball. This is the same play, rocket. We throw you the ball. I have no idea why you stopped right here. All this space over here, he never could have stopped you from shooting if you run all the way here or all the way to the block. To the short corner like the play's designed. Then we got to read the closeouts better. His momentum is obviously going this way. We should definitely go left, right? Nope, not Blaise. He wants to mess up his spine. So you get one, protect yourself. Two, like high level players take fouls like that if they know that guy has four fouls and they're gonna foul out. If it's late in the game, you get free throws. But in a play like this, you just got to read the closeout. And if you get to the middle of the paint, there's going to be a ton of options. If you drive this way, he's got to stop. You got Cam for a three. Maybe he doesn't stop. You got to lay up. You got a bunch of options. So got to read closeouts better. Also, Blaise, you know how we defend. DJ's influencing left and man. You're outside or even with the guy you're guarding. You should be in big help because we don't want Cam to have to help. That's too deep. You should be in big help so this guy doesn't get all the way into the paint before the ball is stopped. All right, and so like again, make sure we're in big help so we can influence the ball to that left side of the floor and then keep it. Again, situation is no different. We're trying to influence the ball to this side of the court, and right now you're leaving a lane for them to go down the middle. I don't want middle paint touches easy, so we want to be in big help and invite the ball to be thrown further to the left side. All right, and I know these seem like small things, but positioning matters. You don't want two-way closeouts. We want one-way closeouts. All right, and even on this, you become a really good shooter. This guy is helping. You need to be shot ready. You need to be floating with him, staying in his vision, just in case you catch the ball. All right, Cam doesn't kick it, but if he did, you're not ready to shoot. And if it's a pass, you're still, in my opinion, not ready to shoot. So make sure we're always in that shot ready position. And here's the thing. I know I move you around a lot. Sometimes you're top or whatever, but right here on 13, you're way too high. You got to know your responsibility. This guy's in the corner. That run is too far for you to be in there and speed up his shot. So you got to drop lower, free throw line extended, unless you see an opportunity to trap or get high. All right, a reminder of our rules. We want to score more off of their baseline out of bounds plays than they do. So that means everybody got to be disciplined in their spot. So we bait the ball to the corner like we do. But instead of you closing out the corner and not letting it get out and letting Cam come and trap, you guard straight up. So now we don't get a trap. So now, since we don't get that trap, which would have been a steal, now all of a sudden the ball ping pongs around and basically a non-shooter throws it in there. And that's pretty much what happens. When you're not disciplined for whatever reason, he could have kicked the ball and it would have went in. So we got to stay disciplined and take care of our business. Stay disciplined. All right, so next up we got Desmond. I started the clip here so you can see you sliding with a guy. He just takes a really bad shot because you slid with him. Now this is what you want to get better at. I think you already know. Most of your passes are from your chest or 12 o'clock. So it has to come from the center of your body. So if there's a guy in front of you, like right now, that's going to make that pass difficult because you can't throw a chest pass. So then you're like, oh, let me throw a 12 o'clock pass. All right. And because you throw it, you're not able to throw it at the right angles or the right pace and speed because you're still dealing with the guy in front of you versus if you could throw clock pass. So even a pass like this, I want you to take a good look at because if there's more ball pressure, which is usually when you turn it over and struggle, is you wouldn't be able to throw this pass. So I need you to learn to throw it with your left. You see how you got to throw it with your right hand, and that's the closest hand to him. So that could have been a deflection. So when you're watching yourself on film, don't look to see if you didn't or didn't turn it over. You need to think if a really aggressive defender was on me, would I not have turned it over? You would need to throw that with your outside hand. All right, we'll just do one more because we've talked about it. You want to throw from your chest here. You have to throw it because you're in line with a guy over your head, and that looked uncomfortable. So, again, we'll work on clock passing. All right, and these are the possessions that I want you to start coming up with. I don't know how. You may have to dive, you may have to hustle more, whatever, but your hand touches the ball enough to where you need to be the guy that comes up with it. So boom, boom, dive on it. Whatever you got to do, as part of that's agility. So when you start coming up with more of those possessions outside of your area, it's gonna add a lot of value. And keep in mind, sometimes you don't come up with it. Sometimes it's just a tie up. So right here, I think this is an opportunity for you to dive on the ball right now and get a tie up. But instead, we don't end up with it at all. So those are the possessions I'm talking about. Find a way to either get a tie up or make it ours. All right, and possessions like these that I think should be yours, make it obvious. Like it shouldn't be an adventure. Squeeze it, don't let nobody touch it, and then we end up with the possession. But again, I want clean possessions. Yeah, most of these are just, hand-eye coordination drills. Get some Blaise pods, catch the ball out the shooting machine, just anticipate, be ready for the ball right here. I'm not sure you're ready for it, but again, it just hits the ground too much because there's going to come a game where it's tied up. We're just going to need you to catch it clean and go up and finish. And a lot of these it does show some growth. So like before you didn't make contact, you would just kind of look at the ball. Now look, you make contact, you block out as if you're on offense. Now we just got to squeeze it. And most of it, like most players, so I don't want to act like you're different from a lot of players, is in traffic they struggle with the ball. You got to have really strong hands. When you catch the ball, like when I watch you in practice, you hold the ball as if nobody's around you the same way you do it when there's a crowd around you. So you got to squeeze it. Here's another play with some silver lining that helps. So notice, as soon as they get the ball, look at you. You sprint back. So that's good. But now you got to get yourself in position and be more like a safety and read his eyes. Because look, it takes you too many steps, like with better agility, to get this steal. So like you see it coming, and it takes you like a couple extra steps to try to run through the pass. And now we don't end up with the ball. And you know what happens if you don't end up with the ball when you should have? It always goes in. All right, and these next couple are just like your positioning. So like watch, we get DJ with the ball here. And remember, like when he drives baseline, you're in line with this guy, so he's not able to throw it to you. You should either be way in the corner so he can easily throw it to you, or you need to cut in the middle, but Will's already there. So I would just say space closer to the baseline. So because DJ's trying to get it to you and that guy's outside the lane line, the pass is almost impossible. So now he has to throw it over you because you're in line with him. So create triangles. You got to create a lane for the offensive player to throw it to you. And this one's pretty simple. You don't do it a ton, but you got to make sure you're focused on this because I thought this was the easy one. Look how much space you have to react to him. It's in his left hand. You got to stay moving your feet, and your feet stop competing. And so now he's downhill, and we're getting fouls called on us. So if you're the middle guy, your job is to stop dribble penetration, and whoever's top is going to fulfill or finish the trap. But you got to stop ball. All right, so this is the possession I got on you about because one, your shirt tail's not tucked in, so we're not ready. So I'm getting on you about that. And then on top of that, we get a trap. The whole purpose of running Z and getting this trap is not to let the obvious ones catch the ball. This is an obvious one. All right, so since you're not ready, you don't end up with that steal. And so I don't want that trap. I want to steal in that situation. That's why we're running. So we didn't execute. So that's why I was. And then on the very next possession, we run Z again. And that's why I was like, hey, be aggressive. The ball's going to go to your side. We get a trap. And then you're late. So you miss the trap. You miss it. And so now he's able to get down and then get an opportunity at the basket. So we gotta lock in and be focused. And also keep in mind, you had quite a few of these. I'm not gonna act like every time on defense you're not doing it right. You're at the 3 point line, you move your feet, he stops, so you trap him. That's good. You stay competing with your feet, foul him with your chest, and then you sprint into the box and get a steal for us. Even on that though, I still want that to be a steal and not a deflection. Like I want you to hit your foot. Okay, I thought it hit your hands. I want that to become a clean steal. So like I said, we pretty much covered the we obviously want to work on finishing. I didn't put that on the video, but we've talked about it. We want to make sure you're passing from different angles. You got to be in your backyard or passing against your house or something. Pass from different angles. And then make sure we have stronger, better hands so we can keep and gain possessions. And then the other stuff is just, I think, just focus. So make sure our focus is on key.